Life is like a very dark and winding road that presents danger and opportunity at every turn. The headlights that guide the vehicle of our lives have to be in optimal condition if we desire to see the road ahead of us successfully. A human life in many places throughout the world has the expectancy of 28,000 days on Earth, or 75 years of age before their journey in the physical form is fulfilled. What we do in those precious years are completely up to us.
It's a blast.
In reflection of this, I set out on a journey to speak with someone whose life went from one spectrum of living to another in very little time to adjust. My friend, who I've known quite some time, was willing to meet with me to not only catch up on lost time, but also share her amazing testimony about all that she had endured with a life-threatening illness. It was through this conversation that I was able to take another good hard look at life and appreciate the time that I have. I'm here with my good friend Monet, who I've known for over 2 decades. And, I could have gone the video route, but, this is a vlog that in this portion is going to be more audio, so I'll be showing you clips of various things that are related to what she's going to talk about. But the doctors tell her one thing, and the medical reports reveal certain things about her physical condition, but she's going to go ahead and share what those conditions currently are, how she has managed to live, not exist through these conditions. So I'm going to let Monet speak on it. You hear music in the background, it's because we're at a restaurant. All right, Mo, go ahead.
So first I was told that I had an autoimmune disease, but they didn't know what it was. Then they thought it was Crohn's, so they treated me for Crohn's. And the internal bleeding in my colon, because I actually have ulcerative colitis, terminal ileitis, and IBS, continued, and my red blood cell count dropped so low that I had to have a blood transfusion, only to find out later that I did not have Crohn's, I have ulcerative colitis. Well, during the period that I was being told I had Crohn's, I was also told I had organ failure. And I probably had 6 to 12 months. And I had resigned that I needed to get my affairs in order because these were my last moments. Thank you.
Just a little bit. Just figured maybe a little bit of water here.
Okay, thank you.
Shit. Nice glasses.
We try our best.
Creative.
And so I had resigned that I needed to get my affairs in order. I didn't have an updated will. I didn't have a health derivative or a power of attorney. I was concerned about my family having some pomp and circumstance funeral as if they knew me and they didn't.
Gotcha.
I was concerned about, not being cremated when I want to be. I was concerned about what if I fell into a coma and my parents had to decide whether or not I would live or not. I fully believed they would let me die. And so I go through all of this and then would decide to get a second opinion. And immediately the doctor who gives me the second opinion, this is now 8 months in, says, I don't think you have Crohn's. I think you have something else. She does some CAT scans, some body scans, some bowel x-rays, a test that's called Prometheus. It's like a $2,000 blood test. She does a pill camera, which is a little camera that you swallow. You keep a little monitor strapped to your lower abdomen. It takes pictures as it goes all the way down, and it's eliminated. It eventually dissolves, and you flush it whenever you go. You never know when it comes out. And she tells me, you have uncontrollable bleeding in your colon, and because you were being treated for Crohn's and not ulcerative colitis, because Crohn's can impact primarily the small intestine, and ulcerative colitis only impacts the large intestine, the colon, and the anus, that I had to have a blood transfusion. And because I was trying to figure out why I was confused all the time, why I was tired all the time, why I was swelling myself all the time, why I couldn't remember anything all the time, well, it was because my red blood cells were not properly oxidated.
Wow.
And had I not gotten a second opinion soon enough, I could have died anyway from the internal bleeding, because that could have caused me to become septic and for my feces to be reabsorbed into my bloodstream. So by 11 to 12 months in, she starts treating me for something else. 2.5, 3 months later, I start showing improvement. But in the process of resigning that I was going to die, I started looking at my friends, my life, the stuff. And if any of it didn't contribute to my wellness or to at least my peaceful way out, it had to go. And so there were 20-year-old friendships that I had made that I realized that I made those friendships when I was at my most broken state. And when those friends didn't evolve as I had evolved, they had to go, and it was painful. And once I got over the pain of ending those friendships, those relationships, I started realizing there was actually less pain to suffer because those relationships were causing me more pain and they were bringing me more joy. And I learned that happiness is a momentary state of being, that I don't want happiness. I want joy. And I wasn't experiencing joy and reciprocity with some of those people. And it was difficult and it was painful. But those relationships had to go. And then I had to atone and apologize to the people who were holding the million little pieces that I had broken into together until I had the capacity to put them together myself. I had to apologize and atone to those people for not being a good friend even when I was broken. Because even though I was broken, it didn't excuse the fact that I wasn't a good friend. So yeah, this 18-month experience has caused a second pendulum shift. And I think sometimes in order for you to actually make drastic change in your life and drastic change in your internal being, there needs to be a drastic pendulum shift.
Time is in the hands of God. The universe, or whatever you believe, is obviously infinite. But on Earth, it is finite and absolute in the physical form. After having such an engaging and interesting interview with my friend from years ago, it immediately provoked an inventory of self. How a person can go from perfect health to near death reveals the reality that we are not God nor gods and cannot stop some of the worst and most punishing events known to humankind. I think about the 28,000 days to live and how easily many people never make it to those 75 years or even defy the odds and live beyond those years. In something as commonplace as a traffic accident on the freeway, there is so much wisdom to be acquired through the eyes that witness such a chaotic scene. We slow down just a moment to grasp the severity of what is happening. Police, fire, and EMT, as well as wreckers and innocent bystanders flock to the location in an effort to save a life or respectfully handle those that have perished. It is in moments like these where we see mortality and love collide together in a selfless act of unity. Some are just getting started on their 28,000-day journey, while some are in the middle and others are at the end. However, what matters most is if we loved and actually lived during those days.